Hello and welcome back to Outside Views. Today we're exploring a fascinating topic. Post-Brexit Britain has a new friend, and that's Brazil. We'll look at the burgeoning relationship between these two nations and dive into the historical and political context that has shaped this unexpected partnership. So let's get started. Since the Brexit referendum in 2016, Britain has been on a quest to redefine its role in the world. The Leave campaign promised a new era of global trade and alliances freed from the constraints of the European Union. However, the reality has been far more challenging. Trade deals with major powers like the United States have remained elusive. Relations with the EU, Britain's largest trading partner, remain fraught with tension. Amid this uncertainty, Prime Minister Keir Starmer has turned to an unlikely ally, and that is Brazil. Brazil, under President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva, has emerged as a pivotal player in global climate diplomacy, and the shared commitment to addressing climate change has become the cornerstone of the UK-Brazil relationship. In November 2024, the two countries joined forces to launch a multi-state clean energy pact. This initiative aims to triple renewable energy capacity by 2030 and is part of a broader effort to combat the global climate crisis. The partnership was solidified at the G20 summit in Brazil, where Starmer and Lula showcased a personal rapport that included light-hearted football banter. This camaraderie, while seemingly trivial, underscores the soft diplomacy at play. Lula's Brazil, hosting COP30 in 2025, is positioning itself as a leader in climate stewardship with goals such as ending illegal deforestation by 2030. And meanwhile, Starmer's Labour government has pledged to cut fossil fuels almost entirely from the UK's electricity supply by the same year. And this collaboration is not merely about climate goals. It reflects a strategic pivot for Britain as it seeks to build alliances outside its traditional sphere of influence. Historically, the UK's foreign policy has been anchored in its relationship with Europe, the United States and Commonwealth nations. Post-Brexit, this landscape has shifted dramatically. The Trump administration's isolationist policies and the rise of China and Russia have further complicated matters. For Britain, forging ties with Brazil represents a bridge between the global north and south. The economic dimension of this partnership is less robust but still significant. Brazil is the UK's 28th largest trading partner, accounting for just 0.6% of total UK trade. While these figures may seem modest, they represent opportunities for growth. Trade and investment discussions are on the agenda for Starmer's planned visit to Brazil next year. However, the economic relationship faces hurdles, including Brazil's reliance on trade with China and the complexities of South America's Mercosur trade bloc. And let's not forget the historical context. In the 19th century, Britain was Brazil's most important trading partner, providing industrial goods in exchange for raw materials like coffee and rubber. Over time, this relationship waned as Brazil diversified its trade and Britain's focus shifted to Europe. Now, as Britain redefines its global role, there's an opportunity to rekindle economic ties. Brazil has also positioned itself as a critical interlocutor between the global north and south, and for decades, Brazil's foreign policy has been driven by principles of multilateralism and balancing relationships with both developed and developing countries. And this approach is evident in Brazil's leadership within the BRICS group, its partnership with China, and its growing ties to the EU. The UK's outreach to Brazil reflects a broader strategy to engage with influential emerging economies, and it also underscores Britain's need to address gaps left by its departure from the EU, where it once wielded significant influence within a bloc of 28 nations. Trade policy is a key area where this shift is evident. Brazil's vast agricultural sector presents both opportunities and challenges for Britain. While the UK could benefit from imports of food and other goods, there are concerns about competition for British farmers once more. The EU's prolonged negotiations with Mercosur highlight these tensions. They are ended now, but still. Any deal with Brazil will need to carefully navigate domestic sensitivities with fostering economic ties. And climate change remains the unifying factor in this budding partnership. Brazil's stewardship of the Amazon rainforests is critical to global climate efforts. The UK's support for these initiatives aligns with its broader goals of achieving net zero emissions and promoting green technology. The Clean Power Alliance, announced in November 2024, exemplifies how these shared objectives can translate into tangible action. However, the partnership is not without its challenges either. Differences over the Ukraine conflict have revealed deeper geopolitical divides. While the UK has been a staunch supporter of Kiev, Brazil's calls for negotiation reflects its broader approach to international conflicts. Lula's comments about Western powers encouraging the conflict have drawn criticism from the US and the EU, and this divergence highlights the complexities of building alliances in a multipolar world. As the UK navigates these waters, it must balance its values with pragmatic considerations. The timing of this partnership is noteworthy. Next year marks 200 years of formal diplomatic relations between the UK and Brazil. It's a milestone that highlights the enduring, if sometimes understated, ties between the two nations. As they celebrate this anniversary, both countries have an opportunity to redefine their roles on the world stage. For Britain, the partnership with Brazil is part of a broader strategy to navigate the post-Brexit landscape. The CPTPP, a trade agreement with Pacific nations, and efforts to reset relations with the EU are other pieces of this puzzle. But as we've discussed in previous videos, these initiatives face their own challenges. The economic and political fallout of Brexit continues to cast a long shadow over Britain's global ambitions. The Brexit decision was supposed to usher in a new era of sovereignty and global trade opportunities. Instead, it has left the UK grappling with economic stagnation, declining trade volumes, and strained diplomatic ties. This partnership with Brazil, while promising, cannot fully compensate for the losses incurred from leaving the EU, of course. However, it does represent a step towards diversifying Britain's global relationship. Brazil's role as a leader in the global south and its growing influence in multilateral forums make it a valuable partner for the UK. But turning this partnership into a success will require sustained effort, strategic investments, and a willingness to address contentious issues. The UK must also recognize the limits of this relationship. Brazil's close ties to China and Russia could create friction in areas where British and Brazilian interests diverge. Moreover, the economic benefits of this partnership, while significant, will take time to materialize. Trade agreements, investment deals, and climate initiatives are complex undertakings that require years of negotiation and implementation. In the meantime, Britain must continue to rebuild its relationship with the EU. The CPTPP and the Brazil partnership are valuable, but they cannot replace the economic and geopolitical advantages of close ties with Europe. And this is a lesson that Britain's leaders must heed as they navigate the post-Brexit landscape. The road ahead is challenging, but partnerships like the one with Brazil offer a glimpse of what's possible when nations come together to address shared challenges. In conclusion, the UK's budding friendship with Brazil is a fascinating case of diplomacy in action. It's a relationship built on shared values and strategic interests, but also shaped by realities of a changing world. For post-Brexit Britain, Brazil represents both a partner and a symbol of the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead. The alliance underscores the need for Britain to embrace a pragmatic, forward-looking foreign policy. This means not only fostering new partnerships, but also addressing the underlying issues that have constrained its global ambitions. So thank you for watching, and if you found this analysis insightful, please like and subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments below the video, of course. We'll be back soon with more in-depth discussions on global politics of post-Brexit Britain. Until then, take care, stay informed, and the next video is right here in the end screen.